not making sense. Right, let's try this now. Try it this way. If I do that, right, and then let me see if I do this. Let's see if you come on live now. Maybe if you click the link now, I've shared with you, might pop up. If not, then I might have to try StreamYard. See if that works. I've never used StreamYard on my mobile phone. Tell me if you see that link in your WhatsApp. See it comes through. It doesn't come through. Then we'll have to try something else. Yep, I think it's coming through. Added you. Bingo, we did it.
Lord God.
We did it.
I saw you. I was seeing you. I was seeing you on there. On this. I kept seeing
I don't know. I don't know what that was. Maybe I've got to come live and then click a link and then I don't know. But I thought this time let me go through and then send you the invite again. But we're through. We're good.
you. All right. We're in like Flint. We're in like Flint. What's going?
So good evening, Uncle JAB. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. I'm going good. I'm doing good.
I was going to say, I was saying earlier to people, I was saying that you should be here to be congratulated on your foresight in Alexander Usyk.
Yeah. I told people this 7, 8 years ago.
You did.
I told them. I told them, and nobody. They laughed at me.
They laughed at me too.
And look, at times during that fight, Fury looked like he didn't have a clue as to what he was doing.
The thing, I agree with you. And the thing is, I said, if he can't deal with the left hand in the first fight, putting on weight does not make you beat Usyk in the rematch. You have to deal with that left hand. He didn't deal with the left hand.
He was throwing punches impulsively. He was just throwing punches to keep Usyk from throwing punches.
But you know why? They hyped up that Wilder second fight so much. I'm like, what the hell has Wilder got to do with Usyk? What the Wilder got to do with Usyk? Oh, yeah,
Look,
he looked great in the second Wilder fight.
everything I saw leading up and into this fight was prejudice.
Oh yeah, they were all for Tyson Fury.
Prejudice. They was trying to create a justification, a format to
False
to
narrative.
to make to make it seem like yes, oh yeah, this is the Tyson that's really gonna take care of business, and he hasn't talked to his wife in 3 months. And but I saw the insecurity in Tyson when he came into the ring wearing a coat around his chin. That was a coat. That wasn't a beard. That was a coat. That was a winter coat that he had on his chin.
Do you know when I think he lost the fight? I think he lost the fight when they did that stare down for 10 minutes, 11 minutes. He didn't say anything, and as he opened his mouth and started insulting Usyk, I said, "You see, you can't stick to a game plan. Usyk's got you beat again."
Saw Usyk in the fight shove Tyson, shoved him to the corner, and Tyson fell back to the corner. And even in the first fight, the referee said, I jumped in to give Tyson the standing 8 count because it was considered a knockdown. But if you notice, there were 3 times that Tyson fell against the ropes from punches that he could have stepped in and said, it's a knockdown. But they waited until that point to step in to save him from being knocked out. So they got what they got what they deserved. They got what they deserved. I think, and I don't care who doesn't like it, but I think that like they said, there are levels to being a boxer, but there's
Absolutely.
levels to being a trainer. And one of those levels is being a teacher before you become a trainer. I think that, in my opinion, there are so-called boxing trainers out there now at the top levels that are not qualified. Ben Davison is one of them. All right, Ben Davison is one of them. Sugar Hill is another one. All right, Jonathan Banks is another one. They're not qualified. They're not qualified. You look at Vladimir Klitschko's career when Jonathan Banks assumed the position, because I had the position first, and then for some reason, 4 days after I had the position, Vladimir came to me and says, "Oh, Emmanuel wanted Jonathan to be the trainer." I said, "Okay, fine, fine. I'll step back. I'll let Jonathan assume the position." What happened to Vladimir Klitschko's career when Jonathan Banks assumed the position? What happened? The
It went
career
downhill.
the career plummeted
Went down.
because it wasn't that Jonathan Banks didn't mean well. He just didn't know what to do. How could you know what to do when you're 30 years old? I was married at 20 years old. And at 30 years old, I was still trying to find my way. You're not qualified at no 30 years old. Ben Davison is how old? How old is Ben Davison?
Must be 30, 31, maybe 32, I think.
How old?
32 max, I would say.
I can't hear you.
Yeah. 32, maybe 33.
So I mean, how could you possibly know when you haven't been dealt different hands of life? So you take a guy like Ben Davison. He dropped the ball in the Anthony Joshua versus Dubois fight. Dropped the ball. We're gonna
Mm.
roll. Can you? I can't hear you.
Experience.
I can't hear you.
You didn't have experience. Experience, it might be.
Your audio.
Let me try different. Let me try. Hold on. Let me try this. Hold on. Let's try this. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. So my point is, you can't assume a position until you qualify. You understand? Everybody is heaping all this praise on these guys. on these guys. But what did they do to earn it? What did they do to qualify for it? All right? No, it doesn't.
Indeed.
There are levels. There are levels to this thing. There are levels to this thing. When they qualified for those positions, all of the media came to me, called me, confronted me, and said, "How did Jonathan Banks get the job, and they didn't choose you?" So based on my understanding, that Emmanuel said that this guy, I want this guy to have a job, but he never said that to me. He never ever said that to me. And every single time that Emmanuel Stewart left the training camp with Lennox Lewis and with Latimer Klitschko, whenever he left that training camp, he told me, he said, "I want you to take over." He never chose Jonathan to take over. But suddenly, when he's on his deathbed, he says, "Oh, I want Jonathan Banks to do it." I still don't believe that he did. I still don't believe Emmanuel said that. I don't believe that. And now you got this guy Ben Davison who dropped the ball. He tells Joshua in the fifth round, "Oh, we got to roll the dice. You got 7 more
Yeah,
rounds. What do
but
you mean?"
before that, let's talk about the way Joshua boxed the first round, pulling straight back from punches with his chin in the air. That's how the problem started.
The point that I'm making is, with all these here fancy damn train, Tyson Fury tonight was out there boxing, and people were calling me. People were calling me while the fight was going on, saying, "What is this guy doing?" He looked like a fish out of water.
Yeah, because they were trying to box Usyk like he boxed Wilder. That's ridiculous. If we put some more weight on, and then we'll try and box him the same way. How can you box Wilder who can't box? Because
Who,
Usyk
but whose idea was it for him to box like that?
cronked you and Sugar Hill, because that's all they can do. That's all they can do. Go forward, march forward, and try and knock you out. But if you meet a guy as a counter puncher, there's a problem. Guys counter, but you're walking onto shots, and you're not even looking at the punches that are coming back to you. It didn't work the first fight, and it won't work the second fight. I don't believe the Kronk style can beat Usyk.
I said it before, and I'll say it again. I told people 7 years ago that this guy was going to be heavyweight champion. If I were Usyk right now, I would say, "I'm done.
Retire. Yeah,
I'm,
he should retire.
he should retire.
He should retire.
He's done
You
every
know, I'll
thing."
tell you one. I'll tell you one thing, Uncle. The one fight I would watch, even though it's more of a nostalgic fight, is Vladimir Klitschko against Alexander Usyk.
I think they're gonna make the Tyson Fury versus Vladimir Klitschko. If Tyson,
I heard, I heard it was going to be Lawrence Sokoli versus Vladimir Klitschko. Oh,
there,
are you there, Uncle? What happened?
there was Iman calling me.
Okay,
Uh, um, I think they're gonna try to make Vladimir Klitschko versus.
uh, Uncle Uncle Bash, your camera's off.
Huh?
Your camera's off.
My camera's off. I don't know what happened here. Uh, I'm back.
No, there's no camera. Your camera's off. Understand? Your camera's off.
I see myself.
I don't see you.
Oh boy,
It's gone completely black screen.
I see myself.
Try and turn your camera off and then turn it back on. Wow, Eugene. Eugene's Ukrainian. You're not in screen. Okay, just keep talking then, Uncle. We'll have to work with you just talking.
No, I gotta wait a minute. What's gonna happen here?
Don't know what you did.
I see myself.
I don't see you. It's gone completely black. The screen's black. I don't know what you pushed with the call. Let me see if I can add you back into the call, see if that works. Maybe that will work. Remove guest. No, I can't remove guest. They'll be removed from me, but you and the live stream will still. Let me see if I can. Should I try and remove you and then bring you back in again?
Okay.
Let's try that. I'm going to try and remove Uncle Bash and then bring him back into the show. Okay, let's try this now. And then what? Okay, Uncle, we're going to try with you again and see if we can bring you back into the show. I've just sent you the link. Check your WhatsApp and again. No, I don't. I don't believe Dubois beats Usyk in a rematch because this time when Usyk fights Dubois in a rematch, this time he will have studied Dubois, and as you see, Usyk in rematches is better in rematches. And I think Dubois got knocked out the first time. Dubois will still come and bring the energy again. He'll still come with that same sort of thing, throwing punches and stuff. But he's probably because he's going to be more gung ho. He'll probably walk onto shots more easier for Usyk. Usyk beats him, so I don't see Dubois being. First of all, Dubois is going to get past Joseph Parker. Let him do that first. Let's see what Bashir is. Let's see if we can bring him back in. Let's see if he got the link. Nope, I haven't got the link. Let's see if I can. This is a bit frustrating. Let's wait and see if we can get Bashir back in the room. Yeah, you imagine Uncle Bashir told us that Usyk was going to be heavyweight champion of the world. You say that Vladimir Klitschko shouldn't fight Usyk, but I just think it's a fight of the ages, really. It's a fight of the ages because the only person you wouldn't fight for other than Klitschko would have been Wilder. Fury beat Wilder and Klitschko, but he didn't beat Usyk. Usyk beat Joshua, Fury, Dubois, Chisora. So I'm thinking the Klitschko fight would. Here we go. In comes back Uncle Bashir. I think he should be back now. We've added him. There we go. You're back.
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, so I said a fight that maybe should be considered as maybe just for the ages, Klitschko versus Usyk.
I don't think that'll happen
Why?
because of the Ukrainian crisis. For the Ukrainian crisis, I don't think it'll happen. I don't think
Oh, yeah,
they put two against each other.
Ukraine's going to fight. Yeah, I get that. It's a shame. But I heard Vladimir was next year was down to fight Lawrence Okoli. I didn't think that was a great fight for Vlad.
I didn't think it was a great fight for Zakoli. Shit. I think it's a great fight for Vlad. I think, but Zakoli he would get hurt.
I don't think so. I would disagree with you there, Uncle. I think Okoli could be a problem for Vlad.
Well, which
Not Bacoli, Okoli. The
okay,
guy who Okoli, Lawrence Okoli, not Bacoli. Bacoli, yes. Okoli, no.
Okoli wouldn't be no problem for Vlad.
Well, I don't know, Uncle. At
Now,
this age, I'm not sure. I would disagree with you on that one.
I'm
Let's
t-
talk about it.
let me tell you something.
All right.
Adam McClisco is still 241 pounds, 240.
Okay.
He's
Yeah.
boxing pounds a week.
Yeah.
Yes, Vladimir Klitschko is in superb shape for a boxer at 48 years old. He's
Yeah. I get that. I understand that. But you got a guy who's long and rangy and can box. Then a Coley will tie Vlad up, make it a messy fight. Not a great fight. I don't know, Uncle. I don't know. It's not a good. It's not a good fight.
yeah,
It's an awkward fight.
Vladimir Klitschko's jab alone would mess Okolie up.
You'd like to think so. You'd like to think so.
The jab is the key to the fight. Okolie is a good boxer, but he wouldn't beat Vladimir Klitschko.
It's not. It's not the jab. I'm worried about if a Coley lands a right hand on Vlad's chin. Vlad's not the greatest jaw in the world.
And vice
But
versa.
Coley,
And vice versa.
but Coley's not been knocked out. Vlad has been knocked out.
Yeah, that'll be Okolie's first introduction
Uncle,
to
I
Dreamland.
don't know, Uncle. Uncle. I don't like that fight for Vlad. I don't like it. I don't like it. Honestly, I don't like it.
You know,
But we'll
look,
see. If the fight's made, we'll see.
I heard some talk about it. I would, if Vladimir decides to do it, I'd like to see it happen.
Coley can punch. Coley can punch, and he's got. Vlad would have to take control of that fight early, and he'd have to hurt Coley early
Yeah.
because I don't like the fight.
Okay,
The gangliness.
let's get back to what we're saying.
Let's get back to what we're talking about. Yeah,
What I'm saying is they're heaping all of this praise on these young trainers. Okay, I'm not saying that Jonathan Banks can't learn, Sugar Hill can't learn, and even this other young man, Ben Davidson, can't
Ben
learn.
Davison.
You got to get in line and learn through attrition. If that had been somebody else that made that blunderous mistake with Anthony Joshua, they'd be buried. They'd bury him.
There was Tunde Ajayi, where Tunde Ajayi said empty the tank, empty the tank against um, Kovalev.
Hmm. They come back with Ben Davidson and they give him to see a guy that fought tonight. What's the young man's name? The kid that beat the Australian.
Moses Talma.
Yeah,
They've got Ben Davison with him now.
right back and give him Moses Atama. You understand? It's the same thing they did with Freddie Roach, the same thing they did with Teddy Atlas. They gave those guys time to correct their mistakes, but they gave them top-notch fighters to do it with. You let
He's
me,
got Eubank Junior. He's got Eubank Junior now, hasn't he?
huh?
Banks. He's got Eubank Junior now. Banks.
Yeah.
That's the end of that.
You can't correct yourself while you're still feeling in the dark. I don't see anything positive that came out of Banks' tenure with Vladimir Klitschko. I'm calling a spade a spade.
All Cecilia Brækhus. All
Huh?
Gennady Golovkin. All Cecilia Brækhus. All Gennady Golovkin.
I don't see the benefit of them being a trainer because you're given time to correct your flaws. So I'm just saying that I'm just pointing out something myself. There are
Yeah,
levels.
but
There are levels to boxing.
of course, there's levels, but it's not just levels to boxing. It's the people you've got that are pundits and people that should know better are not doing better. People think that just because Tyson Fury puts more weight on and he beat Wilder with that style,
Tyson Fury,
he's going to do the same thing to Usyk.
Fury looked like he did not know what the hell he was doing out there tonight. He didn't. And he was holding Usyk around the neck, and he was hitting him, rabbit punching him.
Remember
Glove and
when
put,
Usyk hit him with the left hand?
huh?
You look at his eyes when he got hit with the left hand by Usyk. It was like he had the fear of God even when he got hit with the left hand.
So I don't know. You know, I don't know. You know, but these guys haven't proven themselves. None of them.
Let me ask you this question,
Ben
just
Davis
for a second.
or they none of them have proven themselves. They haven't paid.
What do you what do you think would have happened had Tyson Fury been trained by Peter Fury instead of the guys? Because you would have seen Peter Fury train Tyson Fury for the Klitschko fight. Do you think he's improved since the
No,
move, or do you think he's
no,
declined?
no. They try to say that he improves because he beat Deontay Wilder, but Deontay Wilder was never a really good boxer to me.
Exactly. This is what I've said. The
Deontay,
media are quite
Deontay
happy to change the
Deontay Wilder was a good puncher with the right hand.
puncher. That was it.
He never impressed me with the logistics of boxing skills. I never got that from Deontay Wilder. You know, he never impressed me with his boxing skills. And now people saying, oh, that Tyson Fury is this, he's Fury is that. If I was Alexander Usyk, I would just hang up my gloves. He's earned plenty of money.
Hmm.
He's done everything that should be required of one young man in boxing. Get out while your health is still good. Get out. Don't go back to the cruiserweight. Don't go back to whoever weight. All right, the cruiserweight. What's this? The
Bridger White.
no, don't do Bridget. That's it. That should be it.
Uncle, what would happen? Because many people have thought about the Roy Jones situation. Roy Jones jumped from heavyweight back down to light heavyweight, which was just a stupid move. Basically, in fact, he was trying to chase Tarver. He should have got Tarver to come up to cruiserweight and meet him halfway. If Usyk's to move from heavyweight back down to cruiserweight, what happens?
It could be a problem because the young man from New Zealand is not a bad fighter.
That's the guy I was talking about, Pattaya.
He's not a bad fighter. I'm not saying that he can beat Alexander Usyk, but he's not a bad fighter. And going down, taking 25 pounds up to get back to cruiserweight, that's a risky situation. After all that Alexander has been through in those training camps over the years, I would suggest it. I would just tell him, call it a day. Count your blessings and call it a day. I've seen too many guys go down the tubes. One fight, one good fight after all the fights he's been in, amateur and pros. One good fight now could mess him up for life.
That's what I think.
So just call it a day. That's my suggestion.
He needs to retire, I think.
Well, like, yeah, retire for what? Where you going back for? Where you going back down for? Where you going back down to prove what?
Okay, let me throw this one at you. Deontay Wilder,
Deontay Wilder what?
Alexander Usyk.
Well,
Prime,
I thought
prime Deontay Wilder.
I thought Usyk would have beat Deontay Wilder 5 years ago.
Based on the movement now, all that movement and that left hand, I don't think I think Wilder's footwork could have been all over the place. I don't think he would have beat. I don't think he would have beat. I mean, he struggled with Luis Ortiz, and he's a slow southpaw.
No, like I said, Deontay Wilder was a good puncher with the right hand, but he never impressed upon me that he was a competent boxer. I was never impressed with Deontay Wilder's boxing skills. And the better the boxer was that was in the ring with him, the least they oh man, they bumbled, man. They should have been made Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. How in the world that fight never happened? Oh, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous, you know.
Yeah, pretty ridiculous.
The hottest fight out there heavyweight now is Joseph Parker versus Daniel Dubois.
Dubois. I'm thinking it's. I think Dubois' work rate may be a problem for Parker. If you can deal with the work rate of Dubois, if you can neutralize the work rate, he beats Dubois. But if he doesn't neutralize the work rate, he could get run over. Because if slow uh, Zile Zhang can drop him twice, imagine what Dubois could do to him.
Mm, yeah,
What do you think?
I think it's a good fight. It depends on what the mindset of each fight is when they step in the ring that night. I think it's a really good fight. I think it's the kind. I think it's a fight that the heavyweight division needs. You know, the pros and cons, the chemistry that's there makes for a good fight. You know, I think that the betting odds are going to go with Daniel Dubois. But having said that, it's still a risky fight. Either guy's a risky fight.
Does Dubois do better against Usyk in a rematch? People think he does. I don't.
It depends on what Alexander Usyk has left. It depends on what he. I thought Dubois was doing a good job
Until.
until he got frustrated about what happened with the so-called low blow.
Hmm.
I think frustration set in, anger and emotion set in, and that killed the fight. But what I was telling young Daniel Dubois is you got to look back on other fights. That's where you identify with other fights. Um, you look at Mike Weaver versus John Tate. Everything looked like a foregone conclusion that
Until.
until the last 12, 13 seconds, 12, 13 minutes, or 12, or 4 or 5 minutes. What was it? About seconds. It was seconds when the fight ended. I think he got hit with it
Yep.
16 seconds and he got hit. You don't. So what I'm saying is, never say never. Keep your focus. Keep trying. You don't know what the cause holds for the guy that goes to the distance. I think Daniel Dubois, and that's probably why the reason that what I'm not with him now, because I was told that the father didn't like what I said. Frank Warren didn't like what I said, but I don't. I'm not the kind of guy that people tell me, "Come, well, don't say this and don't say that." Don't. I'm the fucking trainer. Don't tell me what the fuck to say. I say what I feel. All right. You don't tell me what to say. I told Daniel. I said, you giving up. You're falling apart because they didn't vote. They didn't rule in your favor. So what? Go on and fight. Go on and put. That's behind us now. Your job is ahead of you, and you got 4 or 5 more rounds to make the difference. Get out there, and go to work.
Uncle. Uncle, don't you think that this is probably a prime time to get you at Riyadh season as a trainer?
Well, you know, my loyalties, is those who are loyal to me. Vlad Sarenko has been very loyal and very respectful of me, so I'm very loyal and very respectful of him. I put all my cards, all my faith is in Vlad Sarenko. That's my guy, and I'm gonna ride that. I'm gonna ride Vlad Sarenko to the end. You know, that's
So,
nothing,
which leads
huh?
me to next this, which leads me to the next conversation. Vlad Tsarenko, the next big fight or the next fight for him, he's gonna have to step up in 2025. I
Yeah,
would think.
I mean, he signed with
Frank Warren.
Frank Warren. You know, Queensberry. So he's good. Yes, most likely. I'm sure he's going to step up in 25. I'm pretty certain that he's going to have to step up and fight in 25. He's going to have to prove that he belongs in 25. And Vlad Sarenko understands that. That's why I really love that kid, because that kid understands the ramifications of what he has to do to be part of the club. So at any time, I've warned him until I'm blue in the face. I said, Vlad, These people are going to throw somebody at us soon.
Absolutely.
We're going to be in there soon. We're going to be in there with top flight guys, but you've got to go in the fight thinking that I'm a top flight guy. So when they throw somebody at me, I'm I'm being thrown at them too. That's the nature of the beast.
You called Usyk's career quite precisely. Where do you see Vlad Tsarenko on the spectrum? Where is he in terms of his development now in 24, 25? Is he where you want him to be in terms of all the time you spent with him? And what makes you think that he's
Think I don't think
capable of making it?
I don't think Blasphemy was where I'd like for him to be at this point because we just haven't had the fights. We just haven't had the competitiveness to prove that he is. I think that he could be, but we need the fights. We need those top-notch fighters to prove that we belong. We got to have those. So God, it's hard to make an assessment about a fighter when you haven't been there with that level of fighting to prove that you belong.
I, I agree. I agree with you on that. But in your experience, knowing and working with Vlad, you would have a sense, you would have a gauge as to where you think he could be in the heavyweight division based on the work you've done with him.
Again, I gotta have that body. I gotta have those bodies in front of me. I've gotta have those fighters in front of me. I gotta be in the ring with them. You know,
Okay,
I've seen Vlad
look,
with those guys, but I want to see the fight. The fight is different. When you got
okay, you seem,
18-ounce gloves on, headgear, it's a different ball game.
yeah, it is a different game.
I want to see him in there with them 10 ounces gloves on. How he responds when he gets hit. How he tackles
Okay,
in front of him. How,
okay. You tell me. Okay, you give me three to four names you'd see. Like, if Vlad's going to get thrown in with a big name, what's the big names you'd be happy to see Vlad be put in the ring with?
anybody in the top 10. Any,
Okay, okay. Just give me some names. Give me some names, Uncle, that you'd be comfortable with. Give me some names.
the young man that we fought tonight, Atomic, what's his name? Moses.
Moses, you would put Sorenkin with Moses Atamu.
Yeah, this guy got 10 fights. Yeah, he's got 10 fights. Yeah, I wouldn't shy away from him. At this point, Vlad Sarenko's got 22 fights. Why would I shy away from Moses?
Well, movement, speed, power, southpaw.
He gotta face him sometime. He's gotta face him sometime, you know.
But yeah, but in terms of what you gain from fighting Moses Atama now,
Oh,
if he beats him,
the
it's
fight
hype.
it has to be a fight worthwhile. I wouldn't want to see him fight Moses for $100,000. No, you know. But I can't shy away if they say this is the guy you got to fight. Yeah, he's a lefty. We just got to make the adjustments. A good professional can make the adjustment for any fight. You know,
What do you think of Moses King? Moses King, Jameson McKean tonight. Then
I think that shot that Moses hit that guy with, it hit him in the back of the head. It hit him in the skull, in the top, and disorientated him. It's not saying that the fight would have ended up any other way, but I'm saying the first shot that Moses landed was in the top of that guy's head. And everybody knows when that shot landed in the top of the head, game over, man.
finish. Hmm.
The next one hit him on
Okay.
the next one hit him. But the first one hit him in the top of the head, and he was gone after that.
Were you surprised?
Yeah, I was surprised. I was surprised. All right, I was surprised. And when I saw uh, McKeon when he hit the floor, I started thinking about the other kid, the redhead kid from London. What's his name? The other big tall guy.
David Price.
Yeah, that's what I think about David Price. I started thinking about David Price when I saw him on that
He got he folded like a deck chair. I know. He did have that sort of David Price look about him.
when he got up, he was on Queer Street, you know, and that
How good do you think? How do you think? How good do you think he is?
huh?
How good do you think he is, Moses
Mo-
Atama?
I don't know, but he's got a good start. I'll tell you that.
Got a good start.
He's got good power, you know.
You know, a good fight. I'll give you a good fight for you. A good, real good fight for you. Joe Joyce, Vlad Sarenko.
Yeah, Joe Joyce is
What
a good.
about that?
I got respect for Joe Joyce. I don't, I don't lie. Yeah, any one of those guys, you know, any one of those fights, we've just got to make the adjustment and go out and win the fights.
Okay.
You know, Zhang, Zhang too.
Zhang versus. Oof. Yeah,
Yeah,
Zhang.
Blasterenko can handle him. I'm telling you. I think Blasterenko is the kind of guy that rises to the level of the fighting that he's in with. He makes the adjustments, you
I
know,
hope so.
because
When I say that, Uncle, respectfully, I hope so because it's like we. I really want Vlad to do well for himself. Such a nice guy. We've
listen,
put a lot of work and time in him, so I hope so.
boxing, I don't expect any favors. That's why I say Moses and they pay us for the fight. They pay us for boxing. All right,
Yeah.
they pay us for boxing. Pay us the money. We go in the fight.
I said before, it just depends on what Frank Warren has signed Serenko to do. Has he signed Serenko to be a marquee fighter, or has he signed Serenko to be a fall guy?
Whatever it is, whatever it is, my thinking, I'm thinking from the lowest part on the totem pole.
Hmm.
That's how I'm thinking. As a person that's protective and watching for. I'm thinking that whoever it is, that we gotta be ready to fight because
Yep, a body.
ain't nobody gonna do us no favors.
I tell you another good fight: Jarrell Miller. Jarrell Miller versus Vlad Serenko.
Oh yeah,
Good fight.
really good fight. That's a really good fight. Yes, Jarrell Miller's is a really good fight.
You know why as well? He'll promote that fight.
Look,
Jarrell Miller would promote this. He'll promote that fight, Jarrell.
Derek Chisora is a good fight.
I don't think you'll get Chisora.
Huh?
Don't think you'll get. Don't think you'll get Chisora.
But it's still a good fight. It's the kind of fight that can come down the pike any minute. That's what I'm telling Vladimir. Stay alert. Stay into your training. Stay positive.
Okay, let's try and read this then. Let's try and read the flaws they say, right? If you're Frank Warren, he's got he's got he's got Derek Chisora promotionally. He's got George Joyce promotionally. Who else?
He got Zhang.
He's got Zhang. There's no point in him fighting Zhang. Zhang's getting eliminated, isn't he? He's fighting Ajak Kabayel, I think.
He got Wardley.
Wardy versus Sorenko. That
He,
wouldn't make much sense. If it was for a British title, then that would make sense. But
this point now.
a,
Look.
a
I
European title fight, a European title fight.
think Moses would be a good fight for Vladimir to fight at this point.
Really, Uncle?
No, I don't think it's a good fight because this guy's got what 11 fights now.
Yeah.
It's like hustling backwards. No, I think that not a good fight. What I'm pointing out is the possibilities.
Yeah, but the trajectory. If Moses Talma beats, if Sorenka has, for all respect, a like a marquee win, then you could say, yeah, he's the guy that beat that guy. I can see that. Well, Serenka should fight Pulev. There's a fight for you. Serenka should try and fight Pulev.
I don't think Pulev would try to fight Serenko. I don't think Pulev would try that. I think Pulev is wiser than that. I'd like to see Serenko fight with Anthony Joshua.
That fight won't happen. That fight definitely won't happen. Think
Yeah.
about it, Joshua's a big ticket. He's a big ticket draw, Joshua,
Huh?
and he's a big ticket draw. He's been beaten by Dubois. He's not hiding to nothing. If he beats Sorenko, people say, "Well, who's Vlad Sorenko?" And if he gets beat by Sorenko,
Um,
then it's another loss to the record. So that's not going to happen.
I want Lazarenko to be in with somebody, like you said, Jarrell Miller.
Mm-hmm.
Those kind of, I want Andy Ruiz. I want
Oh
those.
yeah,
I want those kind of
that's
guys
a
first
dangerous fight, Loris.
before I get in with these other guys. Moses. Before I get in with them, I want Jarrell Miller. You know, uh,
Mm-hmm.
Andy Ruiz. I want those kind of guys first, so that
I tell you,
my
a name for you,
yeah,
not Adja, what's his boy's name?
yeah,
Big Nigerian, F.A. Jagba, Jagba Sorenko. There's a fight there.
yeah, that's a good fight. But Jack was scheduled to fight somebody.
Yeah, a Jagba would be one.
Jack Butt is getting ready to fight somebody. I think Ajak Kabayel. I think
Yes, yeah, Caballero. What about Bakoli versus Sorenko?
I don't like that fight because we got, like I said, we got to get in with somebody to work our way to that position. You know, taking somebody like that there and putting them with Serenko now, and we haven't had nobody, no kind of work or nothing. And then you're gonna take them and throw them in with guys on the top
Yeah,
shelf.
but that's exactly the way history plays itself out. You know the sport, Uncle. It's more likely that's the sort of scenario they'll put Sorenko in. That's on like 6 days' notice, 10 days' notice, 2 weeks' notice against a highly like Olympic gold medalist or something along them lines. That's how it works. That's how it works. So that's what I'm saying. Is Vlad Tsurenko signed to become a journeyman, or is Vlad Tsurenko signed to be a marquee fighter? What was the basis of his agreement to go with Queensbury? Because obviously Frank owes him nothing.
Right.
So why?
Well, what I tell Serenko is that you got to be prepared for anything. You got to be prepared. We're being prepared. We're boxers.
See what? You know what? Gerard Anderson. Anderson on his comeback fight against Vlad Tsurenko. Crossroads fight. Tsurenko hasn't fought for over, I don't know how long he hasn't fought for. They can use that one. Oh, Tsurenko hasn't fought for this long. And Gerard Anderson is coming back after a loss to Martin Bakoli. A win or Jared Anderson has some sort of name.
Good fight. It's a good fight. That's a really
But
good.
who's attached to Frank Warren? It's promoted by Frank Warren. So maybe in the 5v5, there's another 5v5 coming up.
Ooh,
There's a 5v5 coming up, isn't it? Warren versus Hearn, or it could be Eddie Hearn versus a Golden Boy.
yeah. I think
Maybe or even Frank Warren could go against Bob Arum.
I think that
Frank Warren fighter versus Warren fighter. Yep, man.
I think Eddie Hearn's company don't want to see this Frank Warren's company. They haven't had a good relationship lately.
I told everybody about Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren. I said, if you want to make money quickly, go to Eddie, but make sure you can fight because you're going to get beat up. And if you go with Frank, Your matchmaking, you might not make as much money with Eddie, but your career will be better. Um, better looked after.
So what do you think
So,
doing right?
what do I think? Repeat the question, Uncle.
What do you think Tyson Fury is doing right now? Besides saying that he won the fight.
Yeah, he won the first fight and he's won the second fight. That's why he didn't win the first fight, and that's why he couldn't make the adjustments for the second fight. Um, the Anthony Joshua fight, isn't it? That's the fight that everyone knows he's going to go and take next. That's it. Him against Joshua, and then if that doesn't become a rematch, a two-fight deal, because I think it sounds like a two-fight deal, Joshua to fight in London, then fight in Saudi Arabia. After that, I think they both will go off into the sunset and retire.
Mm, yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I think so. Um, what's your thoughts on Zhang at the moment?
I think the Zhang is getting ready to fight. Who's Zhang getting ready to fight? Zhang is getting ready to fight someone.
Is he going to fight Bacoli? And then that didn't happen, and
Caballero. I think he's Caballero.
Caballero's my boy. Caballero's going to put a beating on Zhang.
I think it's
Caballero,
Zhang and Caballero.
yeah, Caballero beat the crap out of Zhang. Sorry. Caballero beat the crap out of it. His footwork, his movement, his punch placement. Nah.
And Caballero, he stopped the Cuban, right?
Yep. And he beat up that big, ugly 6 foot monster.
Huh?
Yeah, what's him? Abdul Salamov, was it? No, Magnumov, whatever his name was.
Yeah,
Ugly guy, dude. Yeah, he beat him up. He was hype. He was hype. Herkovich was hype. Sanchez was injured.
yeah.
Um, yeah. Just the thoughts on this because my battery is about to run low for tonight. This guy, Ben Whitaker. Do you have any thoughts on him?
I didn't see Ben tonight.
No, he didn't fight tonight. Ben Whitaker fought. Um, do you
I,
see Johnny Fisher fight? Wait, Johnny Fisher.
I haven't seen enough of Ben Whitaker to make any assessment about him. Missed that too. Who, who won? Wow. So you thought Dave won it? Yeah. Ayman asked me about that fight, and I said that Dave would win the fight. Yeah, yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. And who's Dave signed with? But do Dave want to? One time I saw Dave retired, then he came back. He thought, is this? Yeah. I think that it's time for Tyson Fury to park his wagon, get on the other side of the road, be a commentator or something. I think his boxing career is over. No, Tyson Fury. He looked like he didn't know what he's doing out there tonight. I don't know. I don't know. But that was a devastating knockout. That was a devastating knockout for Anthony Joshua. Um, that was devastating. I didn't hear what Dubois was saying to Usyk in the ring tonight. But what did he say? I was stay as far away from Usyk as I could. I sent him a gift envelope and tell him to go retire because he can't. This guy is a nerve wracking. I mean, Tyson looked like he's saying, "Lord God, I'm in here with a freaking magician. I don't know what this guy's doing." All right, yeah, sure he did, sure he did. And what was the scores? What was the scores on the on
I think was it what did the score 116, 112? Was it 118, 116, 112?
all three of them had 116, 112?
All three judges.
116, 112.
Something like that, yeah.
But they made a mistake because Tyson said he won, right?
I said he won the first fight as well.
116, 12.
Yeah,
And everybody wanted Tyson to win the fight.
I said it. Yeah, reverse psychology. If you talk about it enough, surely you win the fight. It doesn't work like that in boxing. You have to beat the guy. If you can't block a left hand, you're in trouble. And that's what happened. Truth be told, the left hand. It came. He didn't see the left hand before, and again, he didn't see left hand again.
I was expecting Tyson to get cut tonight.
I was expecting Tyson to go over tonight.
Yeah, but I had all I said. I chose Usyk to stop him in 11 rounds.
He seemed to be more durable this time round. That was
Yeah,
because of the beard, but he seemed more durable.
yeah. You see how he was holding him? You see how he was holding him? He was grabbing, punching. He was doing anything to win.
Yeah. People don't understand he punches harder than people give him credit for. Usyk.
116, 112 tells you what happened in that ring tonight.
One final thing because my battery's about to go. Johnny Nelson still says 5 years on that Alexander Usyk is still an average southpaw.
Now, Johnny Nelson is Johnny should they should test Johnny for drinking before he come on the air. He Alexander Usyk is it's not an average nothing.
He said he's comparing Alexander Usyk as a southpaw to Pernell Whitaker. Adam Smith said that Pernell Whitaker is like a lightweight compared to a heavyweight. How can you compare the two guys?
Right. Usyk is more like a heavyweight Pernell Whitaker.
There you go.
More like a heavyweight Pernell Whitaker. You know, this guy
I
can do
would l-
he can do everything in the ring. Everything.
one final question, Uncle, for tonight. Ali versus Usyk. 15 rounds for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. Who wins?
Very, very hard choice there. Because Usyk has a mentality, man. He has a very, very keen mentality. Ali would have problems with Usyk.
That's what I thought. I mean, Leon Spinks beat him. Fraser beat him.
Ali would have problems with Usyk.
And he's intelligent as well.
I mean, Ali would have big problems with Usyk. You know, big problems with him. So I can't pick that there. You know, I'm afraid to pick that. You know, I'm afraid that I'd have Usyk too close to win it and possibly winning the fight. If they force,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to give Usyk one of those fights because Usyk has so many factors working for him. He has a chin. He has heart. He has boxing skills. He has durability. He has the mindset to be a champion.
Yeah.
What I've been saying to these people for years, and they laughed at me when I told him that cruiserweight. I said, "This guy going to be the heavyweight champion of the world. This guy is going to be heavyweight champion of the world." And people say, you just saying that because you're training them. No, but I saw that in him way back then. I said, this guy's going to be heavyweight champion of the world.
You're right.
But if
You're
he
absolutely right.
thought that he was going to beat Joshua twice and Fury twice, I said, well, that's pushing it. But he did it. He did it.
Yeah.
That's behind him. That's water under the bridge. And I would go back and I would put my gloves up for auction, you know, auction my gloves off, and I'd say, adios, I'm done.
So your message to Alexander Usyk?
Pack it up and go home to your family. You've done everything that you need to do. You don't need to box no more. Pack it up. Put your gloves up for auction and go into commentary. He doesn't need to box no more. He's done everything that one could be expected of one person. He's done it. He's beat Joshua twice. He's beat Fury twice. Who would who would have ever thought that the man would beat the two of them twice? No, I'd get out. I wouldn't go back there cruiserweight, nothing else. I'd go home to my family. He doesn't need to box anymore. He's got all the money in the world. What do you need to box for? You know, you can only hang around and get yourself in trouble. Yeah, because that time is going to run out. What is he? 36? Come on, get out. Get out while your health is still intact. Get out. All right, now get out. All right, my brother. Yep, anytime, brother. Yeah, he's